we go.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do.
Florida man standing in his sunroof while driving his Cadillac down I-40.
What you gonna do, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, and this is the Welcome to Florida show, where we have fun laughing, cringing, and learning about the second craziest state in the union. And of course, I've got my co-host Culture Casino here tonight and our special guest, Dadman Walking, another Floridian. How are you folks doing tonight?
Awfully well. I'm very excited. So always glad to be here with you two powerhouses of YouTube. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I feel kind of like an underpowered house, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I appreciate the compliment. I feel
Yeah,
like,
I'll take it.
I just wish I would have remembered to give Lorena that pickled relish last week.
Oh, I know.
Oh man, yeah. I was I love it when people give me gifts, but I especially love it when people give me like homemade gifts, like canned stuff, or had this, fresh produce from my garden or stuff like that.
I think you like food.
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. Which by default you have to in the South. Yeah.
Yeah. Just hopefully you enjoyed the barbecue that night. So
Oh, the barbecue was good. Remember what I said when we walked in? I'm like, yep, smells right.
wow.
definitely not like that corporate chain we like to pick on.
Oh, here like Sonny's or like the Polite Pig. No. When you walk in and the menu's written in chalk, on boards, and you've got rolls of paper towels at the tables.
The three dancing pigs on the building.
Yeah, the three dancing pigs, stuff like that. The people, cooking in the back who look like they just have been doing this forever. You're in the right spot for barbecue.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, there are so many of you folks in here tonight. First of all, I want to thank Universal Dorks for becoming a member at the Mediano Mafia level. You members are going to have actually a pretty special video coming a little later, but if you were a member, you also got to hang out with our movie watch party. We actually watched Blazing Saddles, so go check out that webinar link. We had a good time. We had an absolutely good time. So good to see you. Good to see Keely Chow says, hey, everybody. Well, hello and roll tide. We have got Goof R35 here in the chat who says, hey there. Well, hey there and hello. We have Strange Marvel Theories. New person to the chat. So welcome so very much for being here. Okay, who's gunning their car outside?
It wasn't me.
Yes. I feel like I'm back in Miami right now.
Wasn't me.
Oh, the booming bass was a little bit earlier, so thankfully they kind of drove away. Mark Daly says, man in the panhandle checking in. Greetings from the capital, aka South Georgia. Well, Tallahassee is definitely relevant to our story tonight. That's for sure. Good to see you. Good to see you, Dylan C says, hey, Lorena, hey, Culture, sup, chat. Good to see you, Dylan. Good to see Dave Cable says, hey, Lorena, good seeing you. Lonnie Holcomb, hello, says, greetings from Headley Lamar.
Wow. Okay, then.
That Blazer Saddles watch party was just too much fun with the members. Oh my gosh.
I would imagine you had a good time. I'm just
Oh yeah.
It was good.
We had a riot of a time. Culture's here, of course. And here we go. Yes, we are. D Nice Gamer is here. I see you throwing all the emojis there. Member emojis. All those. We love them all. We love them all. Dadman, of course, is on the panel. We've got Darth Plato in the chat. He says, hey, old chat. Well, good seeing you. We got Island Girl in the place. Says, hey, Lorena, nice to see you all. Hello, Island Girl. We got CJ, my thumbnail guy, in the chat. Says, evening, folks. Well, good seeing you.
CJ's been crushing the thumbnails lately. They've been a lot.
Oh, heck yeah.
Just saying. Bang.
Yeah, he's been killing it. And I love it. I love it. Meg B, hello, says evening. And I see you with that heart there. So good to see you. Good to see you. This is Dadman. So don't. Guess we have to go back to Orlando. Oh my gosh.
Always jump in the car and head down south.
Yep. Head on down. Head on down.
Because we had 2 Buc-ee's hit on the way.
Hey, like I told you, it's like I hit the Buc-ee's in Daytona heading north, and I hit the Buc-ee's in St. Augustine coming back south.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, right.
And I heard there's a Buc-ee's in oh my gosh, near Dillon, South Carolina. I think literally across the street from south of the border. I can't freaking wait to see it in a couple of weeks.
Oh wow. Wow. And we talked about how south of the border is not what it used to be. And it
no.
In the 80s was like the mega stop before mega stops. But wow.
That's when you knew you were finally getting closer to Disney. You hit south of the border.
Yep.
Oh, you finally got Hogwarts Legacy, got Slytherin on the first try. Yes, House Slytherin. House Slytherin rocks.
Well,
although we'll get
you just have to be ambitious. Come on.
Yes, ambitious, cunning. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be.
I withheld a joke there that was inappropriate for all audiences.
Oh, you know.
Jeez. Not you, culture. Gee.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, well, to add to the wizarding world of Harry Potter experience or Universal in general, if you're Slytherin, yeah, you get appropriately harassed. Well, I won't say that. I will say profiled. You know, they give you this strict talking to before you get on the Hogwarts Express to remind you no magic used on Hogwarts Express. Yeah, unless you're security. And they'll tell you 50 points for Slytherin. I'm like, yes!
That doesn't seem... That's sending the wrong message.
It is. It is.
I'm just saying.
And I remind them every single time. Hey, Demonjanai, good to see you here, my dear. Dude. Good to see you. Good to see you. If you're gaming, I'm gonna have to send people over there. We've got Dan Rodwell in the chat who says hi, hello. I don't think I've seen you in my chat before, so welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, Battle Him 63 says, sorry, I missed Blazing Saddles. No worries. You can watch the replay of the webinar. The link is posted for members in the community tab. So you guys get to watch that for about 2 weeks before I reprocess it and upload it to YouTube in general. Culture Boss is in the chat. Yay! Yay! Good to see you. And Island Girl says, we all grown here at Culture. Tell you joke.
No. We're not deep enough into the show yet for me to
say. Give it like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. After that, the advertisers don't care.
Yeah. Hey, I will say this: the Culture Boss and I are going to start like joining games, like for people who are playing like Switch games. So if you yeah, I know. So if you're like doing like, Mario Kart or Mario Golf or something that, games we own, we might join you. We might play with you. She wants to do that. So
well, I will have to hit you up because I'm getting Mario Kart. I have Animal Crossing right now because Camera Girl plays Animal Crossing, so I had to get Animal Crossing. But getting Mario Kart and possibly Mario Party. So
Mario Party's great.
I'll have to hit you up. Yeah. Hello, Undead Nerd said, I just saw Guardians 3. It was good, not great, just not enough Adam Warlock. I don't know when I'm gonna go see it. I have a ton of stuff going on. So I'll get to see it soon, probably on $5 night. I'll probably go and check it out. And the major says, "Rutro." No worries, no worries. We're all good. Well, there's 27 of you folks here in the chat. So I'm going to show you something very, very quickly. As a matter of fact, now, all of us on the panel are familiar with the attraction that is now closed, Poseidon's Fury at Universal Orlando in the Islands of Adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this attraction, I believe, is going to be rethemed to Zelda. That is the bet that I am making. And it's not something that I just pulled out of the ether. Well, yeah, maybe I did. But there's too much theming going on in this attraction. It's like going to find, the perfect house and stuff just, it's like, yes, that's the house. That's how you know.
And it's very easy to repurpose it.
Well, we had talked about that, the family, the wife and the kids and I. I mean, it was just a logical, especially when we started hearing about Epic World and all the other stuff. Before that, It was like, just like Culture said, it's easy to multi-purpose, and it just looks like Zelda.
Yeah, it so does.
Yeah, and I mean, you start talking to people who like are listening to certain people. Yeah, I mean, this and you actually have some insight here, don't you, Lorraine?
Oh yes, indeed. What I am going to show you is one of the effects from this is mine. I can this is one of the rooms that you're in. I'm gonna speed them up a little bit. Is what I want to show you. So this is the pre-effect. This is all through this whole thing, and then boom. You walk through a tunnel of water.
Isn't that cool as heck?
I'd never seen anything like this. I thought this was some boring kind of attraction or whatever, but this is what sells it.
Yeah, and it's a trip. Because you're like, how is this happening?
Totally. And the whole attraction, you just have this team member who's like, your guide. So yeah, that's the whole, literally the whole thing. You go from one crazily themed room to another crazily, themed room. There's like holographic projections, there's fire and whatnot. Literally, this is what goes on.
Yes, we did.
It's so flippin' cool. Kind of dark in spots, but it is the absolute coolest. So I hope, and the team member who was a quote unquote actor in this attraction actually made a blatant Zelda reference. Now, take from that what you will, but I just found that very
it's almost like they're telegraphing what they're going to do here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And again, I mean, knowing some of the creatives that might be involved in this,
Well, that's interesting to say that you bring up that they're telegraphing, because this attraction had been closed for a long time.
Yes.
And had just only recently reopened. I don't remember what it was like before. It's been so long since I had been. So, excuse me, if there's certain things that they've changed from before, like in the scripting and what the preview, by all means, yeah, they could be telegraphing it, because like I said earlier, it was just a natural thing. Many years ago, the kids, before it was even a rumor, the kids were saying, hey, that'd make great Zelda. I mean, they took the attraction associated with Zelda without anybody telling them.
Exactly. So I wanted to show you all that to kind of just let you know just kind of why I think it's going to be Zelda, but that's what I'm betting on, and I just had to show you guys that because it's just so flipping cool. All right, so we have got 26 of you guys in here watching. Thank you so very much. I'm fighting with my other monitor right now, which is really annoying me.
Oh no.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying me, but
yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, so glad that you guys are all here. 30 you guys here in the chat.
Welcome,
Thank
everybody.
you so much. Welcome to the show. We're getting into the meat of what's going on. So let me preface this.
I know this guy.
You know this guy?
I know that guy.
You know this guy?
I know that guy.
Oh my gosh.
I think you know that guy.
He's the coolest guy.
He's a pretty cool guy.
You know why he's one, he's cool because he's a Florida man lawyer. Number one.
He's a Florida man.
He's a Florida man lawyer. And number two, his specialty of law is something that is so fitted for what's going on with Disney and so obviously overlooked by Disney's cabal of overpaid lawyers.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, that is Andrew, aka Legal Mindset. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I have literally been binging his videos. Hey, Jerry Mendoza, been binging his videos for I don't know how long because he is on point with this. So let me preface this by saying I am an adult who likes Disney, not a Disney adult. What's the difference, you may ask? It seems like there's a lot of quote unquote Disney adults that are happy to let Disney do whatever it is that they want, run rampant. Yeah, sniffing the pixie dust like this is such good stuff. Disney can't do anything wrong and you can't take our park away from us. Disney should just pack up, leave Florida, and that'll teach them whatever. Of course, I'm making a caricature, but that's in general pretty much diss Twitter in a nutshell.
Don't you say pixie dust is a hell of a drug?
Yes, I do. It's a hell of a drug. You better respect it. I'm telling you. You need to respect it, not sniff it. Okay? Because the powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's Disney meth. Let's just call it what it is.
Florida terms, meth. We got a meth reference. Where's the bingo?
Disney meth.
Where's the bingo tonight? All right, sorry.
No, but that's totally what it is. You can get caught up in it, which is understandable when it was good stuff and was good for you back in the day, and it made sense. It was like, okay, it's all right. But pixie dust started getting tainted and not as stay away from that stuff now. It's just, no. But an adult who loves Disney knows that no matter how much you like Disney, no matter how much you like going to the parks, no matter what PR spin Disney may do to make them seem like good neighbors when they really are not, Disney does not have the right to violate law in the state of Florida.
No.
That is what this all boils down to.
Multiple laws, not just one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about securities laws. You're talking about federal go to prison laws, like for a while. These are not these. And when you break these laws, they come down on you so hard when they find you guilty that it hurts because they have to do that because they don't want anybody else trying to do that.
No, they most certainly do not. at all. Pixie dust will really mess you up.
John Lewis, perfecto.
You know? Oh my gosh, pixie dust has been tainted with woke fentanyl.
Jeez. Wow.
But
Woken all.
but that's literally what what it is. So what I'm going to do is actually run this short from Andrew of the Legal Mindset. I have links to not only his YouTube channel, but also to 2 specific videos that you guys really need to check out. One, I took some screenshots from his video because dang it, it was just that good and I just needed it. So we're just adding Floridian commentary and flavor to it. But really, go back and watch his videos. There's one there that's kind of like a timeline of the whole thing happening with Reedy Creek, with formerly Reedy Creek and Disney, and all from the beginning of Disney setting foot into the state of Florida when they weren't really Disney, but you know how that goes. And then the other one is the full countersuit that the state of Florida filed in Florida court against Disney. So he does that whole breakdown. So you definitely want to check that out. So let's run this short by Andrew. And I hope I clicked.
Delegate.
Did I click
Even
the
if
audio?
Those homeowners covenants, the King
Okay.
Charles covenants, all that. Even if Disney's covenants are found okay, DeSantis still would win under this. Disney is going to be forced to fight this in court, and until then, this is going to stand. It's highly unlikely they're going to be able to touch this because, as I said, these were laws passed in that interim, in that period between the 60s and 2022, 2023. So this is why, because of all these reasons, that DeSantis is going to win here. They've implemented something that Reedy Creek couldn't delegate. Even if those homeowners covenants, the King Charles covenants, all that, even if Disney's covenants are found okay, DeSantis still would win.
Yeah, still would win under this. Now, this is not something that the pixie dusters are going to tell you because they really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Batman.
Because they're acting like they're their own unique special kingdom. Because really, these laws apply to a lot of different special districts in the state of Florida. It's not just Disney. The same. I mean, you got CRAs, you got different local governments, little condominium associations. All these rules that they're expecting to be privileged with. The way the statutes are written are to all of them. And so, I think what he's getting to here is they can't make rules for which they're not given authority to do so. And if they're held differently than the others, I mean, you have a free for all out there with everybody making up their own rules, and really it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, Dave Cable hits it on the head. Dadman hits it on the head. Obviously, Legal Mindset hits it on the head. I mean, we have this strange situation where Disney has not and has failed for generations to fulfill the promises that they made at a statutory level. I mean, at a state level, they promised to deliver something they've never delivered. All of this is binding, including the part, and I know that Andrew gets to this at some point in one of his videos recently. In fact, the most recent video, where he says that Disney's screwed because they've conflated both the district and the company together. They've put them together. They can't be. They legally they are prevented from being that way, and they've issued bonds, which is illegal. I mean, if they're the same entity, they can't do what they've done. This is bananas. It is truly bananas.
It's absolutely nuts. What's going on here, and I'm glad Andrew is letting people know the specifics of what is going on here with what Disney has basically been allowed to get away with for a long period of time. And there's reasons why they've been able to get away with that for a long period of time. So kind of what I'm going to show you here, it looks like it's really, really, really tiny. Can I make it bigger? But we'll just give you the highlights through this timeline. Andrew has a really good video out there where basically he lays out the case, kind of like what we've been talking about here on this channel with respect to how Disney got to the state, how they wound up getting all of that land, and what they've been doing ever since they got the land. So starting, we're gonna go through this. We got 3 slides. We're gonna go through this.
3 slides.
You know, this little guy.
The orange bird.
Yes, this little guy. This little guy, my favorite guy, Orange Bird. Love him. Mascot of the Florida Citrus Growers Association.
Yeah.
Okay. 1964, this whole area in Orlando was basically orange groves and cattle ranches. And the Florida Orange Growers Association, they had, advertising across the country for Florida orange juice, breakfast, yada, 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 and all of that. Florida produce is exported all over the world, especially oranges. Okay. So Disney shows up. Of course, they're not Disney, and they start buying this land. Not just buying the land under these shell corporations, but paying a lot more for it than market rate. Would that be accurate, Culture?
Yes. Disney bought things below market rate early on. Then they paid above market rate. There were so many different shell companies. So many people were unaware of what was happening. But then a certain reporter broke the fact that this was happening, and they started paying even more money to people to close the deals because they wanted all this contiguous land. Anyway.
Exactly. And like Culture was saying, Disney was forced to reveal that they were indeed behind it. An intrepid reporter, a young reporter at the Orlando Sentinel, back when it wasn't digital fish wrap like it is today.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah, I got it.
Back when reporters really worked.
Yeah, when they actually worked and did real journalism and did research and wrote things with just the facts, and the editorial stuff was on the editorial page. That's what the editorial page was for. But anyway, got revealed what that was, and of course they're talking about Disney World, and of course they're talking about a certain thing called Epcot. No, not every person comes out tired, although that's kind of what we call it from walking around. But of course, it was the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. That was supposed to be, a vibrant new type of community with young people from all over the world, people living there, working there. Basically, a little city.
And it wasn't just Epcot alone, because on the People Mover ride, you see an example of with the Epcot type thing with a big city and all that in a self-contained area. So it wasn't not just Disney in the park. They kept reinforcing. The People Mover ride is so old, and that display is so old. It's not something new.
But here's the interesting thing. They had basically laid that out well in advance, prior to Walt dying, where you literally could see not just the monorail being a complete, transportation system that would be, essentially linking much of Central Florida together, the People Mover, which would link the people in the city to other parts of the city, limiting the use of cars, which would be not seen, yet they would exist in tunneled transportation in the area. You saw industrial, commercial, agricultural, and residential all in this particular city area. It was supposed to be the future of cities. That's what Walt Disney was a visionary, and that was his goal there. And so it's not lost on me or maybe anybody else that Disney elected after Walt's death to sell off the monorail to Bombardier, all that tech and patents, and to sell off the Wedway People Mover to another entity, which also blows my mind. So two of the major components of what would make those cities function, no longer are there. And it's also not lost on me that instead of the ridiculous cable car skyway bologna sausage Skyliner, that they originally, one of the concepts for getting people to all of the parks and different resorts was a people mover that they didn't own anymore to get from place to place, which would have been far more effective, wouldn't have had to stop operation during, high wind or storms, and would have essentially been a covered area, which could have been completely covered over with solar panels to power the stupid thing. So it's an entirely frustrating thing for me. Anyway, there you go.
And don't forget that they continued it with all those the special localized train lines that they skipped in recent years, like from the airport and stuff.
Oh, I know.
They've got.
Oh,
Where other places have taken advantage of it, they denied it, and they could have had all those lines, just train lines right into, but they chose to ignore that.
Well, I think Disney realized that, with any public rail system, it's just a homeless redistribution system. So they probably didn't want to bring the homeless into their area, but there you are.
Yeah, that's probably true.
yeah, probably, yeah.
Sorry, I'm very plain spoken.
No.
No, that's fine.
I would not put it past them. I mean, everyone else was like, yeah, let's do the bright line.
Bright line.
Nah, we don't think so, especially since, you didn't want to run it through certain bedroom communities along Osceola Parkway. They didn't want that freaking thing anywhere near them. So we're just not gonna invest in it.
Yep.
But yeah, I have to laugh at that homeless.
Yes, that was.
I have
Forgot about that part of the
after going to Disneyland and like seeing how it is, there. I said, no wonder Walt got all that extra land around Disney World. He wanted to keep this, nice and pristine for them, so to speak.
You can't blame him. I mean, he wanted to be somewhat isolated, but he wanted it to be what the modern city would be. Including skyscrapers and the whole 9 yards. I mean, and oftentimes, if you think about just how visionary he was, he wanted to dome cities. He really did. He thought that would be a way to control the environment around them. And Florida's an environment you'd love to be able to control because it's flipping hot.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, because it is. But after Walt Disney, unfortunately, passed away due to lung cancer, he shot this film about Epcot, which I know I've seen, and I'm pretty sure Culture Casino has seen.
Many
and
times.
Incidentally, you see a little bit of that. I believe I think it was Iron Man 2. Yeah, we're just like, why do we feel like
I've seen this before.
Watching Walt Disney instead of Howard Stark? Why is that?
Yeah,
it's almost shot.
It was almost shot for shot. Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was crazy. I'm like going, wait a minute. I've seen this World's Fair thing before. I've seen this before. Yeah, it was awesome.
Everything. I think everything down to holding the cigarette. It was,
Yeah, well, and the gosh, I mean, first of all, the guy they got to play Howard Stark both times that was genius, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, golly, gee, Batman, so good.
Gave us such good feels, and I loved watching that video, listening to him talk about Epcot and how excited he was about it. And I'm just like, well, that doesn't look like the Epcot that we got, and I wondered why that kind of was, and gonna let that go. But I just thought that was interesting finding out about that. But interestingly enough, in 1967 they used that God, too far ahead.
Model.
That film and the model
Yeah.
to talk to the legislature in Tallahassee to basically lobby the state of Florida to give them these special rights for this special district because it was experimental.
And it spanned 2 counties. Which was somewhat new. So
yes, spanned Orange and Osceola County, like the southern border of Orange and Osceola County. But that's what happened. Past the Reedy Creek Act, you get these powers that had not been issued before to a private enterprise. And then, of course, you have state versus Reedy Creek, and this is with regards to the drainage bonds. It says here, drainage bonds to be issued by RCID as serving a public purpose. And if there is a benefit to private enterprise, it's purely incidental. So from what I understand is that when you have this special, the special districts that you have going on, it should be exclusively just for, municipal projects. There may be, if there's some side incidental benefit, then that's okay, but that can't be the primary thing. Like I'm guessing you probably find some kind of innovative technology just out of what you were, doing in the course of setting the city up. At least that's my interpretation. Culture, you got something to add?
No, I'm like I said, I mean, you've been breaking it down. I don't know that I could add much.
Okay. Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure.
No, I'm like, keep going, because this is exactly right. I mean, it was unprecedented governmental powers to a private company, and obviously in pursuit of a community. So yeah, I mean,
I got to thank Andrew.
Yeah, you've done a great job. You've done a great job trying to explain it, because they're really a weird entity in Florida government, and they all have their special rules, and like I was saying earlier, how this is falling in under all the other ones, and the big point of the contention is, if this district gets away with bending the rules or doing something else, what about the other districts? What about the condo owners? What about the homeowner associations? And that's been one of the arguments that I've seen a lot of discussion on, is you do have these rules that apply to all these things universally, and they can only be granted the power in law that they're given. They can't assume powers that they're not authorized to have. And that's when the attorneys get involved, and everybody argues on both sides.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, because of the nasty taste that Reedy Creek has left in the mouth of the state of Florida. Is the exact reason why other special districts have not been granted that kind of power. And Mike has bad news, says sounds like a deal more people should be able to take advantage of. Should be, yes and no. I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit with respect to Universal's Epic Universe. So I'm actually going to get into that in a little bit. So there are like over 40 of you folks in here watching. Thank you so very much. Please do hit that like button, share the stream. I would so appreciate that. And of course, make sure to subscribe to everyone on this amazing panel. So let's speed up a little bit. Let's go a little forward. 1982, Epcot opens. Experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And put this in quotes. Opens up. None of the original plans for a residential community are incorporated. Yeah. When I was a kid, I thought, oh, this is great. It's a theme park. But I keep seeing that film about Walt talking about it being a place where you're living, working, all of that. When you go through the People Mover and you see that kind of like Logan's Run replica looking thing, and it's just like, you say that, but that's not what we got. We got a
theme park,
golf ball, cool theme park, which was cool at the time because it was, it was entertainment.
Yeah, 1982 was a great year. It truly was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And the year that Epcot opened, I really truly enjoyed. There was a lot going on in 82 as well.
Well, even as late as the mid 2000s, the fact that Future World and the educational part of it. I mean, our kids liked all the educational stuff up front as much as they did anything at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, it had a lot of meanings like that. And that, I thought, at least stayed in line with Walt's vision of progress to the future, things like that,
Absolutely. Oh, and I forgot the most important one here. 1971. Walt Disney World opens and Disney abandons plan for the planned city in favor of building more theme parks, increasing profits. RCID will be retained purely to benefit the corporation. So you see what happened here.
No, and
Right?
this is when you're not. This is the thing they weren't allowed to do. They were supposed to be two separate entities. Sorry, Lorena, but that's just.
Oh no. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please do elaborate.
They were never supposed to be intertwined. In fact, they were expressly forbidden from being intertwined. And Iger is on the record multiple times now saying that they're intertwined. Just FYI.
Yep. Not smart, but he did it anyway. Ugh, but that
Well,
shows you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
from a business standpoint, yeah, it's smart to intertwine it because the two lines get blurred and then they become one entity, even though legally they shouldn't. But, who's going to stop you? It wasn't until just recently there was any reason to stop it because there was not a problem until just recently. And, like I said, who's going to sue Disney in most cases,
Well, I found something out. This is why I love Andrew's videos because Dad Man, I was thinking the same thing. Why did it take until DeSantis showed up and Disney, for lack of a better term, showed their backside? Why did it take that long? Well, what I found out and what Andrew pointed out is actually in 82, Orange County threatened to sue Disney over the charter to RCID. Yes, I'll read that again. Orange County threatened to sue Disney over the charter of Reedy Creek Improvement District. However, the company and the county came to an agreement in 89 where Disney paid $13 million for road improvement outside the property it owned, while the county agreed to not challenge the charter of RCID until 1996. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about traffic. Traffic outside of Disney around this time was beyond abysmal. I remember it took my parents, they told me, at least an hour to get out of the parking lot at the Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
to
yeah, it was
get to
terrible.
the timeshare on 192. It was miserable. I said, if I ever have enough money to go to Disney, I'm never leaving the darn property. The traffic was just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, you're not exaggerating. I mean, it was better if you could walk across towards Contemporary and then walk north along the road into the Disney backstage area, which is still a public road, to get picked up by a taxi or a friend or whatever back then, because the traffic was so horrific. Yeah, getting out of there was just disgusting.
It was hell. It was absolutely hell. But apparently Disney and Orange County, and I have a lot to say about Orange County, came to an agreement. Hey, we'll pay $13 million to help improve the road situation and everything outside of Disney. But you won't challenge us.
You can buy us off for 5 years.
Exactly. That was pretty much what it was. And for those of you who pay attention to politics, okay, I think it's the 13th congressional district in the state of Florida, I believe what it is, which was, I forget it. I think, did Val Demings lose? I don't remember if she did or not, but Val Demings is the representative in Congress for Orange County, where Disney is located, Orange and Osceola County. Her husband is the mayor of Orange County. So here in 82 was where you see the political activism and, lobbying, greasing the palms of government officials so Disney
Yeah,
can get them to look away for a little bit.
Yeah, the 13th district actually right now, the 13th congressional district is actually represented by Anna Paula Luna at this moment, as of January 3rd, 2023.
Oh,
Yeah, so the
okay.
13th Florida congressional district.
Okay, thank you for that update.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh
'Cause
no,
you-
thank you. Because I did not want that. I did not want her to. Well, I did not want
Well,
her to get reelected.
isn't Buddy Dyer the mayor of Orlando?
Orlando. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh. All right.
Dyer is the mayor of Orlando.
Mm.
Isn't there like a mayor of Orlando, a mayor of Osceola County? It's like it seems like there's 2 or 3 different mayors in that area down there.
Well, because
It
you have
is.
because they're all so close together. You got Winter Haven, you got like there's so many different communities right there, right, Lorena? I mean, it's just bananas.
Yeah, it's a ton of different ones together. Of course, you have like the city of Orlando, and then you have the unincorporated area outside of Orlando. Like I live in an unincorporated area of Orlando, but unlike, let's say, states up north like Pennsylvania, we have a commissioner for a panel of commissioners for our particular county. I've never been someplace where there's a mayor of the county.
Right.
I've never run into that. But
That's what I was
apparently-
referring to. You got a mayor of Orange County and a mayor of Orlando.
City of Orlando. Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's different down here. That's for sure. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Lisa. So yeah, that's how it is, and that's basically, when it started there.
Yeah, Orlando, just to update everybody, Orlando's actually now encompassed in the 10th congressional district. I think they realigned districts, so I think that.
Oh, I forgot about the redistricting.
Yeah.
That some folks were kicking and screaming about. Hey, Steve, thank you so very much. Thank you. Good to see you, my dear. Hope you're
Yeah,
well.
And currently, the 10th district, which is where Orlando falls, is represented by Democrat Maxwell Frost. So.
Yeah,
I don't know.
which
I
means-
thought you were going to say Maxwell Smart at first, but
I'm not surprised. It's with the way Florida is. There's blue in Jacksonville, usually blue in Tampa, St. Pete. Miami used to be blue, but now they're purple. Orlando is blue, and then the People's Republic of Alachua County is always blue.
Yeah,
and Jacksonville used to not be blue.
No, it
Jacksonville
didn't.
used to be reliably red, then kind of purplish, but
And they ran out all the manufacturing jobs.
And the local representative, you were 100% right. The local representative of the 10th district in just the state of Florida, that the representative elections in Florida is Val Deming. So you're 100% right. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had it right because I was like, okay, I remember there was a realignment. So
Thank you for that. We're gonna have to do a who's who
in Florida
Congress
politics.
critter when it comes to Florida politics because.
Yeah, there's not many Democrats left, right? And that's it's very much a red state. There's like some blue cities with some blue representation, but it's very much a red state. 70% right now. It's crazy.
Very much, especially with the pandemic refugees that came into the state. It's been an interesting change. So 91, you had the city of Celebration. I remember seeing a lot of stuff about this. I'd ask my dad, I'm like, hey, can you buy a house in Celebration? He's like, no, it's crazily expensive. Although I hear Celebration has one of the most draconian homeowners associations from what I've heard. But Celebration used to be part of Disney. Now they were supposed to be, again, like Epcot, like literally a city with people living in it.
Well, it's okay. So I just so you guys understand, the villages actually falls in the main village's location falls in a special district. In fact, they try to get a special district for all of those communities because it helps them manage the special rules and things, because there are some CCNRs which are not standard that allow for it to cater to people that are older, because you're legally, for the most part, outside of like a special age bracket, not allowed to discriminate against who the occupants of a given community are. So if they outline it within a special district, it makes it easier to pencil whip a lot of stuff through in the development areas. So anyway, there's that.
Well, because you're issuing bond, because it is a unit of local government, so you can issue bonds, levy tax, all that other stuff that you need to get the resources to build and expand these communities. Mm-hmm. So that's why they do that, because trying to imagine a private developer having to issue their own bonds, come up with their own funding to build these type of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the interesting part, of course, is that Celebration was de-annexed from RCID.
Wow. You don't usually see it that way. You don't usually see somebody annexing, not de-annexing.
And this was news to me, because when I moved down here, I'm just like, I thought Celebration was part of Disney. Nope, not anymore, and not for quite a while.
It was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be. That's how it was advertised.
Mm-hmm. Live in Disney. And the reason that they de-annexed it, and you know the reason for this, Lorena, is because they did not want the residents of Celebration to have legal authority within Reedy Creek.
Ding, ding, ding. That's exactly right. You don't want to have those pesky people telling us what to do.
Because they would have been able to, because it was actually a community that would have resided within those borders, and not those 10 trailers. I
was just gonna say that.
Yeah. There you go.
They couldn't even give them double wide trailers. Those are nice, man. Really great, but anyway, that is what happened. That is what happened there. So, interestingly enough, Mike has bad knees. I'm going to bring up his comment because his dovetailed exactly into what I am going to bring up. So, Epic Universe, which actually I drove by there yesterday. The hotel looks really nice. That whole area is going to be booming, literally across the street from the Orange County Convention Center. You can't get any more convenient, with that. So this was announced in 2019. So and Andrew tells this story in his video. He's like, Universal said, hey, let's see if we can get a sweet deal like Reedy Creek did, so we can get this for Epic Universe to kind of connect the property that we have now, the parks that we have that are on now, with Epic Universe. Disney got that deal, can't you hook us up? State of Florida said, hell no. Blame Disney for that. We're not having that anymore. So they did not get that special district.
Well, and here's an interesting thing. The military contractor there that's building things right next door to where they're developing Epic Universe. They sound like they're trying to relocate to a different part of Florida. Could you imagine if that little parcel of land opens up that happens to be right there? What Universal could do with that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they have a file.
I'm just saying.
To hit the trigger should this happen.
Yeah, I mean, and then Disney won't own the state anymore. And see, this is the weird thing, right? The minute Epic Universe opens, you're going to watch a giant portion of market share for the theme parks move from Disney to Universal. Why? Well, Universal is now represented as something that is more hip, more modern, more interesting. And believe it or not, more practical. Universal's moving towards more practical attractions. Disney's moving away from them. So you have Disney moving to screens, which we've always complained about at Universal, and you have Universal working to more practical adventure types of things. So it's this complete switch. It's a role reversal, and I think it's going to be rather interesting going forward. Anyway, that was an aside. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to pop into that more practical from a vacation standpoint. Well, you don't have to deal with reservations or anything like that. It's just you're going to go without having to be require extra planning just to plan. But I agree. I stopped.
No, but just to add to that, and first of all, thank you so much, Teresa, for that 19.99 super chat. So generous. Thank you so very much. Says hello, Lorena and panel, with those 3 roses. I'm guessing one for each of us here on the panel. You guys, super chats, you guys help me reinvest back into the channel and to bring you guys more great content. So thank you so very much for that, my dear. I appreciate it. And go subscribe to her channel. Teresa got me back into actually going to read. Okay, well, it's Audible. I'm a busy girl. The Lord of the Rings novels. So I'm having a great time. So
well, blame Teresa for me, moving forward with my channel at all. Yeah, I mean, I give her top grade credit because, and I've said thank you to her at every celebration I've ever had, because she's the reason that A, I'm on camera. I mean, one of the reasons. There's 2 reasons, and B, that I even talk at all. So once again, Miss Martin, I appreciate you.
She is an amazing supporter. So thank you so much, Teresa. I appreciate that, and thank you. We have almost 50 people watching this stream. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. So to appreciate it so much. So yeah, to add a little bit more about Epic Universe before we move on to what I call the even juicier bits. Where Epic Universe is located, it's on Universal Boulevard. There are so many, if you can't stay on Universal property, there are so many mid and budget priced hotels. Like, you have your Hiltons, your Wyndhams, your I think there's a Quality Inn. There's a couple of them that are there. Icon Park is right across from it. There's CVS, there's Publix, there's all these conveniences, and there are literally no less than 3 apartment complexes right next to where Epic Universe is. And literally you drop right off of 528 onto where Epic Universe is. It's so accessible that it's just going to be a boon to Universal and a boon to visitors to the state, because you have a place that's easy to get to, accessible to get to, lots of conveniences at different price points that are available, as well. And across from the Orange County Convention Center, there are an obscene amount of events that take place during the year at the Orange County Convention Center. Just saying. So next we have, of course, HB 15579, signed, erroneously called by people as the Don't Say Gay bill. That's not what it says. Basically, Parental Rights and Education Bill. This is March 28th. Signed, barring curriculum from K to 3rd grade discussing sexuality in any form. Gay, straight, LGBT. No sexual discussion with regards to that in the curriculum. Keyword, reading is fundamental, folks. The curriculum. So remember, Chapek originally had the proper response. Look, we're not getting into politics. We're just concentrating on making entertainment for all families to enjoy, which was the perfect thing to say. Disney stayed out of politics and respected the will of the voters. However, we all know how that story went. Got internal pressure. Of course, you saw like all of the, especially on Twitter, just all of the backlash and everything that happened. And basically, Chapek wound up making a hostage video to apologize for not supporting LGBTQ folks and basically demonizing this bill and demonizing the will of the voters, and then going the extra step that basically was fighting words to say that Disney was going to do everything within its power to overturn this bill. There's one thing, lobbying is one thing, but they actively said that this is what they were going to do. This is just what they said that they were going to do. It didn't matter what the will of the Florida voters were. It's not that he didn't say, well, it's the will of the voters in Florida. We'll just continue with our lobbying efforts and leave it at that. No. Nah, they came at Florida parents and came at the state of Florida. And that didn't sit well at all. So what happened? RCID sunset bill. It's like a nice special district you got there. Turns out you're really not using it for the purpose intended. So guess what? We're going to nullify that. And you guys remember all the screaming and crying and all of that about it's going to raise taxes. Orange County, is going to be on the hook for paying these bonds, and it's going to be paid by the, Floridians. But again, these are people saying these things who do not understand Florida law. Those bonds, the responsibility for those bonds cannot be passed on to the taxpayers. And Andrew talks about that repeatedly in his videos. Thank you, Space Dave 2000, for the $2.20 Canadian super chat. Just can't believe how much Disney has gotten away with. Yeah, they've gotten away with a lot because they've made the right friends in Tallahassee, as we saw earlier, kind of like, you do for me, I'll do for you. And Disney's just that big, and no one was willing really to stand up to them. And let's say continuously stand up to them, because Orange County did sue them in '91, like we saw. But it's something else. So thank you, Space Dave, for that. I sure do appreciate that very much. So with that, of course, one day before the legislature took action, because remember, we were kind of wondering, why we're not hearing anything from Disney after the Florida legislature is like, we're going to take action to, dissolve RCID. Disney decides to write this agreement to basically give themselves governmental power. A private entity cannot grant themselves governmental power. I don't know why Disney thought that they could do this, but they went ahead and did it anyway. So they rushed it through. Basically, it was a development agreement under Chapter 163, Florida statute, okay, as well as restrictive covenants. So again, they tried to turn governmental power to Disney. However, here's the problem with that, or one of the problems with that. Under Florida law, Disney did not give notice, a proper notice, to occupants within RCID. And Andrew shows in his video a whole list. You can go to, I think it's the Orange County Assessor's Office, that shows you all of the inhabitants in RCID, including Shades of Green, which is owned by, I think, the Office of Morale and Welfare. Them. There's also a couple of other hotels as well, and other occupants did not receive prior notice. So, power grab happened, RCID out, and the Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board, that's a long name, basically takes over for RCID. Yep, exactly. Screw around and find out. And Universal Dorks, hey, my dear. So Shades of Green was one of the occupants that wasn't properly notified. Look at what they did to the walking path too. Yeah, that's why I noticed Shades of Green. That's the one that I'm most familiar with. But Andrew had like a whole list. If you go to the Orange County, I think Orange County assessors public website, you can go there and check it out. It has the list of all of the occupants in RCID that you can see, and they were not notified properly, which is a problem. Say you rush, you make mistakes, Disney. So that's what that happened. So Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board is created. RCID, poof, gone, not there anymore. And DeSantis signs the bill. Bonds are transferred to the new district. Now, do you know something interesting that's different between the Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board? I need something better for that. And RCID. The interesting thing is that the new Tourism Oversight Board makes their meetings public and they are on YouTube. You can look up the Central Florida Tourism and Oversight Board. They have a YouTube channel. They have 2 meetings so far that they have put there in public. How many meetings has Disney made public? 0.
Yeah, Disney's not a big proponent of transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and when they're forced to be somewhat transparent, they get destroyed by shareholders.
Well, that's odd because I thought that these special districts are essentially branches of government, which would be subject to Florida's open law, sunshine laws, and everything else. It's amazing that they've gotten away with not publicizing meetings and publishing them, because that's one thing. I mean, all the local governments, state governments, school boards, they all have to notify people of meetings upcoming, business transactions, and when 2 board members get together, anytime. I mean, you can have 2 board members meeting on the side. It's considered a public meeting to discuss anything, and a lot of people have to jump through hoops and be careful when they have a public meeting or not, because that has to be noticed, and minutes have to be published. It's a real big process to have to go through, and to see that, it's very surprising, because I know y'all have a lot more experience with this on the Disney side, but understanding what a special government or special district is, I'm really kind of surprised as a citizen as to hearing that they didn't have the same requirements or were not following by the same rules.
Yeah, that's why sunshine is the best
Disinfectant.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I'll make this analogy. It's kind of like when a drug dealer has certain deals going on in a part of town and some of the cops kind of look away until, let's say, you engage in some activity that makes you more visible. And law enforcement is kind of like, well, maybe we should take a closer look at X, Y, and Z. Next thing you know, you get swatted, y'all going to jail. Just saying. Not the same, but the same thing. You brought some unnecessary attention.
You don't do that.
And
well, it's also
now
the
we
same.
have this.
It's also the same company that fights its tax bill every year.
Every year.
I'm not trying to go back over granted, but I mean, this is one more thing. It's the track record. It's, if you're so great of a model citizen, then just pay your taxes, whatever they say. Don't question it. But of course they do. I mean, most people would, but it's playing both sides of the street. We want them to look good, but then again,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to just show how diabolical, I mean, I knew Disney was diabolical, but okay, the 26th, the Tourism Oversight District, of course, they vote to invalidate, the development agreements and restrictive covenants and all that. They actually vote on that. Literally within about 10 minutes, I'm theorizing. Andrew says 10 minutes, so I'll quote Andrew. Seemed like right after that was passed, boom, Disney files a federal lawsuit alleging the contracts clause, due process, and First Amendment violations. That last one is freaking laughable. So they sue in federal court, supposedly, for all of these things. But
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and it was like a 77-page legal document that they filed, and within
Yes.
minutes. No, you don't. Yeah, that was planned. They knew what was going to happen. I mean, you don't file a 77-page brief that within minutes of something like that.
Yeah, they totally. Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's so diabolical. And they're talking about violation of their free speech. And this is the difference. It's not a violation of free speech. It's just you got caught red-handed doing something that you shouldn't have done. And now that due process is taking course, now you have a problem with that, supposedly.
Well, they do have a right to free speech. They said it. But there's the old adage of just because you have free speech, you're not free from the consequences of that speech. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
That's
you can
exactly
say
right.
whatever you want to, but there are consequences and ramifications. They're not being barred from saying whatever they want to. They're just things are changing to their not their benefits per se as a reaction of the use of that free speech. It's like us as YouTubers, us as citizens. We can say whatever we want to, but should we say it? Or if we say something, you better be prepared for a reaction. Or like the old Florida saying, make sure you don't write a check your body can't cash.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it really comes down to. Is of course you run to free speech, but I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself again, but that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying there with that, is it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Disney had free speech. They
Mhm.
just didn't like the consequences that came with that free speech. So interesting thing is, and it's kind of funny, not funny, but it's true. Literally, not that long after Disney files this case in federal court, the state of Florida, through the new tourism district, countersues Disney in state court because property issues. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm learning a lot from Andrew. Issues concerning property is the domain of the states, not the federal government.
True.
But where are they more likely to get a favorable judge? Very likely in federal court versus state court.
Exactly.
So
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Florida countersues. May 4th, the legislature confirms the invalidation of the development agreement and restrictive covenants. DeSantis signed it
There you go.
and have not heard a peep out of Disney since. I mean, they got this writer's strike thing they're kind of they're dealing with, but I find it interesting that Disney, and for not better point, but through Iger, you notice Iger is very condescending talking to the state of Florida, but very accommodating when talking to Gavin Newsom in the state of California.
Mm.
Notice that? Have you ever seen Iger talk down to China and take them to task about the Uyghurs and their human rights abuses? No, you don't hear that, do you? But they decided to do this in the state of Florida. And you know what? You should have just kept the trap shut. But here you go.
There you
So
go.
that's where we are right now in this in this in this whole saga of Disney fighting in the state of Florida. It's The law is not on their side, and those
Oh,
fancy lawyers that they had from New York,
well,
California, and DC.
and yeah, well, that's
Florida
the
law.
problem is they went to the New York and DC area for their lawyers and not to Florida. But Universal Dorks makes a great point in the chat.
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
There it is.
Wow.
Wow.
There it
He
is.
said I'm out.
Peace. I do not want any part of this. My butt will be gone. I like my gig. Peace.
I'm going to play golf. See you later.
Yeah, look, I can't do this. I will not have a job again. So I'm gone.
Oh my gosh.
Eva, who knows exactly where the winds are blowing. Well, thank you, Lance, of the Outcast Creative, all the way over there in the UK. Oh my gosh,
to
it's
see you,
so
my
late
friend.
where you are. It says, just because you're awesome. Oh, well, thank you
Oh.
so much, my dear. You're awesome. You're awesome for giving me that £2 super chat. £2 of the
Indeed.
King's money. Now
Ooh.
I saw little bits of the coronation. That was very cool to very cool to see. Very cool to see. So thank you, my dear, for that £2 super chat. Thank you to all you amazing people who have been hanging out here with me. And there was actually something that I wanted to show you guys, and I should have done it earlier. Props to Lord Doug Vader. I have stolen this meme. I have starred this meme. I am keeping this meme in my folder of the most dank memes I have ever seen.
Dank.
Yes, dank memes. Yes, it is that good. Mickey Drake's like, forget them $2 tolls, but hey, that $6,000 Star Wars LARP. Let's bring that on. How about it?
Oh my gosh.
Island Girl, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I missed. I copied and pasted your member chat. Thank you, Zakarat, for reminding me. Island Girl has been a member for 1 month at the Suave Society level. Says transparency. What a novel idea. That it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna be repurposing this meme for quite
But you know,
some time.
this meme just is perfection. Don't blink an eye about for something that nobody can afford, and worrying about $2 tolls.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that $2 tolls are what save you an hour and a half sometimes by getting to your destinations. Instead of sitting on I-4.
That's true. That's part of the reason why we don't have state income tax in Florida.
Dang straight.
Toll roads.
Dang straight,
Oh, well, as usual, folks, I always have so much fun on the show, especially hanging out with Culture, my wingman, and of course, having Dad Man Walking pop in on the panel. So first of all, before we go out, Dad Man, can you let the folks know where they can find you?
Well, thank you. As always, I'm serious calling y'all powerhouses of YouTube. Y'all really are to me. And y'all, I call friends, and y'all have been great supporting Aang and myself. And hey, listen, the best way to keep up with me is on Twitter at DadmanWalking55, only because I've been doing a lot of impromptu quick streams, short announcements. I'm trying to get to 250. I'm at 239 now.
Ooh.
Within the next couple of weeks, because we will have an extended away time. I'm going to have to learn to do some lives because we're going up to the Black Hills of South Dakota,
nice.
to Yellowstone, and I'm hoping to bring more content back with Mrs. Dadman, with our Dadmans and other things like that. So we're kind of beating it now to try to get to a little mark right now. Only 11 away. So follow me on Twitter. That's the best. But Dadman Walking 55 on YouTube and Twitch. So. And tomorrow night, sports. Tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. It's a sports weekly. I'm going to talk sports news and stuff like that because of random stuff, not necessarily one particular sport. But we are talking NHL playoffs right now. Tuesday night, I'm doing what I call chilling with, and I'm having other people come on, talking with Arian Briggs, an author. We're going to talk about barbecue. Yes, Raquel, and I got
She's
barbecue
awesome.
pictures from our dinner together to help show and stuff like that. So
Oh,
and
fried spicy mac and cheese. Sorry, I had to get that out
I
there.
know fried spicy mac and cheese. I'd never had that
So
before.
It's so good.
And we had
Oh,
the fried
so-
okra. Hey, listen, I'll go eat with Lorena all the time because the one thing Mrs. will not touch is okra in any form. So, you can't. It's hard to imagine Southern and not eating fried okra.
Yeah.
But I know.
Yeah.
But and then on Friday night I have one more XFL football show. So that's, like I said, the best way is keep up with me on Twitter because I'm all over the place, different topics. And listen, I want to do different things for different people and keep it variety. So anyway, but thank you to these great two people here. Go support them, Culture Casino, and definitely Lorena Creole for all that they do for other people. And they're great people, folks.
Oh, well, thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you.
You're
Oh,
awesome. I
goodness.
almost feel like, who's he talking about? He can't be talking
You've been
about
thinking
me.
me. Yeah, I know.
But always a pleasure having you on, Dad,
Well,
man. I
thank you.
so do appreciate it. Culture, what you got going on? Let folks know about.
Well, let's see. Tonight, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be having some supper. I might pop in over on Tom's stream, and then I host my late night culture stream, just coming up here shortly. In fact, in an hour and a half at this point. So I'm going to get some food, maybe hang out with Tom for a bit, and then I hope to see everybody there. So, and Lorena might pop in.
I'm gonna pop in for a little bit.
Kind of late. It's like 11 for you, but
Yeah. So
and
I'm
then-
gonna.
And if you don't
Bye-bye.
catch it live, you can catch it on the replay. You will still enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's the one stream a week that I usually get demonetized. It's the only time you'll hear me say bad words, on a stream. For the most part, it's just a lot of fun. We have a good time in the evening. We treat it like it's adult time because it is. And then I do the 6-minute daily every weekday. You can check out news, pop culture news, and just a lot of great information in the span of 6 minutes of actual content or 12 minutes of actual showtime. So it's a lot of fun. And then I've dropped videos. I just dropped a video on my review. My thoughts around what's that called? The movie that just came out. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah, and I think you'll be surprised by my take. By the way, if you follow all the Fellowship channels, everybody's take is across the board. Some people love the film, some people don't love the film. I have a really interesting perspective, I think, to offer when it comes to that film. And then that's it. I mean, I don't want to talk forever. I want Lorena to talk forever. I just want Lorena to talk.
Oh, well, I've been talking for a while. But yes, folks, of course, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitch, trying to do a little bit more Twitch as I'm getting more into gaming. And of course, you can find me here on YouTube. This show every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern for Welcome to Florida. Mondays at 6 p.m., I'm on Ladies of the PGS over on the Burn Network with her of positive fandom. Wednesday, 8:30 p.m., of course, is the Dark Council show hosted by Fatal J. So please do go and check that out. Thursday's Toxic Masculinity Appreciation, Toxic Male Appreciation, actually. So that's on Thursday. 5 p.m. on Twitch with myself. Oh, Culture showing us some guns there. All right, boy. I see you. I see you.
Homogenite has guns.
So that's with her and I, and we are going to be talking about Vin Diesel. So please do come.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bin chickens. I'm like, that's a Florida topic. What are you doing?
And of course, 6 p.m. I drop in for the second half of the WW Pro live show. Nothing for me on Fridays. Kind of take that off. And of course, Saturday is going to be my last stream from Animal Kingdom for the summer because it's getting hot and the animals are not as active the hotter it gets. So see me there Saturday. 10 a.m. We're going to have a wild time at the Animal Kingdom. Going to try to check out the new Lion King show because I haven't seen that since they updated it. Yeah. So I'm going to take you guys with me to see that show.
Are you going to film it?
Am I gonna film? Yeah,
You gonna film
I'm.
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live
Oh,
stream
all
it.
right. Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna live stream it so you guys can see that because I haven't seen it. So that's gonna be fun doing that, seeing what's going on with the animals at the park and just enjoying the not a zoo. Animal Kingdom Park is amazing. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it in the world.
And of course, Disney got rid of the guy that designed it. So you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your sister was late, by the way.
Oh. Where'd she? Oh my goodness. I just saw somebody at her, but I didn't see her. Hey, Talia. I have to tell this before we leave. So apparently my sister and all my nieces and nephews were watching a Goofy movie and they did not move.
Oh, I bet not.
They did not move. And I'm like,
no.
how did they like the possum jamboree part?
Oh gosh.
Just that they were-
Wow.
oh my gosh. That I thought that was so cool. That they loved it. They love the classic Disney
We
cartoons.
all do. We all
Like,
do.
the band picnic every time, the band concert every time, the Twister comes around, she runs around the room like she's caught up in the Twister. I mean, it's
And this
great.
is the sister, the Putnam County days, right? This seems okay. Oh yes, okay. She knows all about our connection about Palatka, right? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Hi,
Yeah.
hi, Talia.
I'll if she wants to and the kids are in bed or whatever, we'll have to have a Putnam County discussion.
Oh my gosh, I look forward to that. And Culture has to hang out with us just for the heck of it, so we can see his reactions to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of podunk areas. I like them.
Well, look, when they have, I think that leading employers are a paper plant, a college, and a jail.
I'm a podunk, guy. I'm separated a couple of generations from the podunk, so I'm good.
And a Walmart, and of course the all the fish markets where the fisherman that's going out, so you slip them some extra money.
Yeah, here's $20-$40. Give me the best catch you got. Thanks.
Get the good crabs, put them on the side. Yeah.
I'm gonna steam those puppies in a little bit.
Oh, Island Girl. Yes, I will be on Valiant Renegades channel on Wednesday at 4 p.m. for the Disney earnings call. So
wait, they're having an earnings call?
They're having an earnings call with all of their sycophantic institutional investors. Okay,
So
well, the top tier
they're
butt kissing institutional.
Everybody's going to find out just how much money they lost. It's going to be good.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
next quarter, they're going to find out even more money that they lost. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bring your popcorn. It's going to be good. All right, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Sure to appreciate that. Thank you all for watching the replay. Big shout out to Andrew at Legal Mindset for all the ammo that he gave me for this show. Please do go subscribe to him, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye.